and happy Monday to you all. So nice to have you here with me this evening on the virtual mat. Welcome to all you newcomers and also all of you the lovely regular yogis that come and join every Monday evening. I hope you are well. It's a little bit stuffy this evening, so make sure you do have a glass of water. And I did put a little note on. I'm never sure whether people get the notes or not. Just to get a couple of cushions and perhaps a prop. I mean, a prop can take any kind of form, a nice weighty tome of a book, or I've just got an Amazon box. Anything that can elevate you a little bit, upturned bowls, ice cream tubs, or children's toys, I think that are like steps someone else has used previously. So anything that perhaps can elevate you a little bit, you might not even need it, so don't worry too much. And nice big smile, and that's it. So we will start. Everybody is going to start seated on a cushion this evening because I think it's kind of nice to sit down on something really comfortable. So just take your cushion, sit it underneath your bum cheeks and cross your legs. Just place one in front of the other so you're nice and comfortable. And have the cushion underneath you so that you can kind of fall off the edge of it, so that your knees are a little bit lower than your hips. Maybe it'll take two cushions to make that happen. Sometimes if you sacrum sit, which means sitting into the base of your pelvis, you need to be elevated just that little bit higher, but make sure that you're nice and comfortable wherever you are. Place your hands on your knees, give yourself a super big roll of the shoulders up, back and down. Another couple of those. Use your breath. Inhale to lift. Exhale to draw them back, squeeze the shoulder blades and come down. Inhale to lift forward, up all the way into the ears, and then big breath out to release. Just see how that feels. A gentle bop of the head from left to right, really slow, really easy into the jaw, into the neck. And then come back into the centre. So we're going to remain with the palms face down tonight. Drop the chin towards the chest. Close your eyes and settle in to your space on the mat tonight. So, here we are, Monday again. How did it get to be Monday again, huh? I hope everybody is enjoying any changes in lockdown that have happened for them. Maybe you've been out shopping today, maybe you have started work again. Maybe you haven't, maybe everybody else is kind of moving on around you and you're feeling a little stuck if you're still being furloughed or so. So just take a moment to acknowledge whatever status is true for you today, whatever sorts of emotions or tensions that have been running around the body, running around the mind throughout the last day or week. Take a moment to acknowledge those thoughts, those feelings, and then take a super big breath into the center of the chest. As you exhale, big old sigh to start to let go. Another couple of those, really big breath in, super big sigh out, and then last one, again really big breath. Open and expand the chest, and then super big sigh to release down through the sit bones. So closing the mouth and parting your teeth to make sure the back of the jaw is nice and relaxed and ungritted. Just take a moment to soften that space in between the eyebrows. That may be taking two fingers and giving that space a gentle massage to really release those muscles. Who needs Botox, huh? Just taking a moment to relax that space, maybe making a little circle first of all, and then starting to take bigger circles around the eyebrow area. Still with eyes closed, and then bring that hand back down onto the knee. So taking a moment now just to notice any tensions in the body. Again, when we start our practice, generally it's with eyes closed so that we can look inwardly. And so we're starting off with the physical body. How is your body doing today? How about the legs? Have you been running recently? Have you been sitting at a desk? Are the calf muscles tight? How are the ankles doing? How are the thighs doing? How about those hips? Again, perhaps our class is open to everybody, so perhaps you may be pregnant and feeling a little bit tight around the hip area. Or perhaps you've just had a baby and you're feeling a little bit unsettled, shall we say, around that space. How about the back body, walking your way through the spinal column? Again, perhaps we haven't been sitting so correctly at our home office space and the lower back is feeling a little bit tender. Perhaps the shoulders are feeling a little bit tight if we're anxious. Again, we're not there to judge, we're just there to be aware of the body so we can build up a picture of how we're doing today. And then we bring our attention, our awareness to our breath. Taking the time to slow down your breath, moving through the sides of the body as you inhale. And then as you exhale, a softness to the shoulders, to the neck. Slow, gentle and steady inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. See if we can get those breaths to the same length, inhale to exhale. Feeling the space around the belly start to expand as you inhale and fall away as you exhale. Finding length to the base of the spine now, drawing it down towards the floor. And as you inhale, feeling that length of the spinal column lifting and extending away from that drawing down. Feeling taller, feeling extended, feeling open as you breathe here. And still with eyes closed, we're all going to let go of air together so that we can breathe together for a moment. So take a nice big breath in and out, big sigh. And then close the mouth. Inhale breath to draw the chin in towards the chest. And then as you exhale, lift the chin. When you reach the top, inhale breath to draw the chin towards the chest. Exhale breath, lift the chin. Slow and steady. Inhale breath, chin to chest. Exhale breath, chin lifts. Notice your shoulders. Inhale breath, chin to chest, making sure shoulders stay soft. Exhale breath, let the chin lift. Inhale breath, chin to chest. Exhale breath, chin lifts. If you're pregnant, don't hold the breath. Just keep on inhaling and exhaling as we are. Everybody else, inhale, chin to chest. And hold the breath here. Shoulders again falling down towards the floor. Slowly with control, exhale, let the chin lift. One more. Inhale, chin to chest. Holding the breath here, belly extended, shoulders soft, spine long. Recirculating the air around the lungs. Exhale slowly with control. Bring the chin back into center line. As we make a promise here to practice this evening with openness and honesty for our bodies, bringing the hands into prayer, blinking eyelids open and raising gaze. Namaste everybody. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more awake, a little bit more open here. But we're going to start to stretch the body. So as you inhale, lift your arms out to the side and extend all the way up to the ceiling through the rib cage, wriggling your fingertips. Take a nice long breath in and out here. And then as you exhale, take your right hand down to the side. Make sure it's in line with your hip. It's not too far forward, not too far back. Elbow bends in towards the body. And then that top arm reaches over the head. Again, make sure top shoulder is in line with the bottom shoulder. You're not reaching forward or backwards. So big breaths all the way down that left side body, pushing into left sit bone to ground down towards the floor. Big breath in and out. As you inhale, both arms lift. Stretch the rib cage. Exhale, left hand falls, bending through the elbow, and then taking that right arm up and over. Again, nice big breaths. See if you can anchor down through that right hip. Big breath in and out. Again, see how that feels for the side body to start opening up as you inhale, lifting both arms. And then exhale, bringing hands onto that front shin. Foot, ankle, wherever you can on the front of the leg. On your next inhale, you're going to start to draw the elbows in, lift your chest, arch your spine and open your throat. As you exhale, round through your back. Draw the whole of the back body away from you, sitting back onto the base of the spine, dropping the head. Inhale, breath. Again, it's that lift of the front body that we want to get a nice open space around the breastbone, elbows nice and tight. Exhale, breath, rounding through the back. Don't worry if your breath is a little bit slower or longer than mine. Just working with the same movements with your own breath pattern. So as you're inhaling, chest comes up and open, shoulders come down, elbows squeeze. And as you exhale, we're rounding through the back. So the middle of the back is pulling away from you and you're opening through the shoulder blades. Again, inhale, breath, opening the chest, shoulders down, lifting and engaging. And then exhale, rounding through the back. So it's a gentle cat-cow movement for your body, opening your spine. And on your next inhale, you're going to come and turn and look over your right shoulder. Shoulder blades still down. Exhale, breath to come all the way back into that center line. Again, on the next inhale, come and look over your left shoulder, shoulders down, opening chest, opening throat. And then exhale, moving back into that center line. So again, coming into neutral now. Next inhale, again, we're lifting the chest, opening through the sides of the body, extending. And as you exhale, plant your hands in front of you. So I'm just going to turn around now and roll over onto your knees. Don't know how easy that might be for you, but just come up onto all fours wherever you are. So, taking a gentle sway from left to right. We've done our cat-cow, so we don't need to do them on all fours today, but we are going to stretch out the calf muscles and stretch out the legs a little bit because we've been on them. So hands underneath your shoulders for a moment, splay the hands nice and wide, fingers nice and wide, left knee under left hip. Take your right foot away, stretch out through that leg and then start to circle around the right ankle. See if you can keep the upper body nice and stable, lifted through the chest. Coming back the other way through that ankle joint, long and open through the back of the leg. And then from here, kick the heel away from your toes, point down towards the floor, heel is around about hip height. Lifting the belly in towards the spine, shoulders back into their sockets, and we're pushing away into that right heel. Big breath in, big sigh out. Next inhale, left arm lifts. Don't worry if you need to place that left hand down at any point. Take a moment here, stretching along from left fingertip to right heel. Again, right shoulder, make sure you're not sinking into it. Pull it back into its socket and lift up through your chest. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Take the left hand down. Bring that right foot onto the outer edge of your left side of your mat. Bring the right heel down. So we've got full support through that side as you inhale, lifting up through right arm. Again, that nice big breath in and out here. Stretching open through the side. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring that right hand in front of your left hand. So we're going to come up onto the board of the right foot, place it in line with your right hip. So everything is in a nice straight line, but your right hand is slightly further forward than your left, around about 45 degrees between your shoulder and your right wrist. We're going to start to push through the heel of that right hand and move back into the right calf muscle. If you let your bottom pop up, then you won't feel much of a stretch in your calf muscle. So lift the belly, tuck it under, tuck your bottom under, and push through the heel of that right hand into your right calf. Big breath in and out. And then on the next inhale, you're going to lift that left arm out to the side, raising your gaze with it. And as you exhale, slide your left arm underneath your right. So you're going to come down onto the left side of your head. If it's uncomfortable for your neck and you can't get it to be comfortable, place the pillow underneath your left ear. So be nice and comfortable on that side of the neck. We want to place more weight into your right ball of the foot so that we're not too much over to that left side to cause overbalance. So take a moment here again, take a breath. And only if you're feeling comfortable, you can start to walk your right fingertips forward. Again, make sure that your right leg is nice and comfortable on the floor, so the right foot is nice and pushed down into the floor. We don't want to overbalance. Right fingertips reaching forward, stretching out through the underside of that arm. Big breaths in our extended thread the needle pose. Again, if you can, tucking tailbone underneath so that you get that longer stretch through the back of the body. Most importantly, breathe nice and deeply into that space. So as you inhale, make it all the way down the back of that right side. Big sighs out. And then right hand slides back to the side of the face so that we've got full support. As you inhale, we're going to lift the left arm all the way out to the side and up. Exhale, bring the left hand down. So from here, on the next inhale, you're going to push through the heels of the hands and lift that right kneecap in towards the head. Again, maybe if you've got the bump in the way, you want to lift it out to the right shoulder or the right armpit. Just take a judgment on that, pushing through the heels of the hands to lift the space in between your shoulder blades. Big breath in and out. And then we're going to extend that right leg away from you again. So just hip height for a moment. Again, you may need your trusty block, prop or pillows. We're going to come down onto your left elbow. If that's not possible, use a prop, or you can stay up onto your left palm, but it's generally nicer to come down onto the elbow, so maybe prop yourself up. So from here, making sure left elbow is underneath your left shoulder, we're going to turn the right toes towards the right hand side. So you're opening the right side of the hip. Again, maybe walking that right hand a little bit further forward for full support. Right hip stacking on top of left hip, and we're really pushing into that right heel, so opening up into a kind of half moon pose, but on that left knee. Making sure left shoulder is not being sunken into, you're supporting the body. And then we're going to kick that right heel towards your left bum cheek. So really lifting that right kneecap towards the ceiling, kicking right foot in towards the left bum cheek, and opening up through that side. Doing a nice big stretch. And then if you want to, you can take the right kneecap even further back to feel a deeper stretch. Being careful of any obstacles behind you. And then from here, kicking that right heel away from you again. If you want, we can lift it up a little bit further to see if you can find a bigger stretch. And then we're going to come up onto that left palm, getting rid of any prop that you've had there. And then we're going to tuck that right kneecap again in towards the body. The head is looking in towards the right knee, stretching that space in between the shoulder blades. And then bring that kneecap down back underneath the right hip. So hands underneath the shoulders again, just take a little sway through the hips to release any tension. And I'm going to turn around to the other side just before I come on to the other side because it's easier to see. So hands again underneath the shoulders, right knee underneath right hip. I'm going to take the left leg away. So stretching out through the back of the leg, rotating through the ankle joint. Again, try not to sink into the top of the body, lifting those shoulders back into their sockets. Coming back the other way with that ankle joint. Nice and open through the back of the left knee. And then pushing away through the heel, toes pointing down towards the floor. It's advisable to have a little look, make sure it is at right angles. And then lift the belly in towards the spine as you take the right arm forward. Again, the left shoulder, push it back into its socket. Don't worry if you need to bring the right hand down at any point. But if you can, tucking tailbone, finding length from right middle finger to left heel. Big breath in and out. And then right hand comes down. Bringing left foot beyond the right side of the mat. Heel swivels all the way around so that we have full support to come all the way up through that left arm. Again, nice big lift through the side. Right shoulder pulling back into its socket so you've got full open space around the chest. And then as you exhale, left hand comes forward. Again, it's slightly further forward from that right hand. Left ball of the foot now comes back in line with that left side. And then on the inhale, we're going to lift the chest. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone and push through the left heel of the hand into that left calf muscle. Again, nice big breaths here, finding length and open space all the way down that left side body. Tucking tailbone, lifting chest. And then on the inhale breath, lifting right arm up, opening the chest. As you exhale, sliding right hand underneath. Again, you're coming onto the right side of the head, or maybe even slightly onto the back of the head, but making sure that the neck is comfortable is really important. Please don't jar the neck, so put it onto a pillow or prop yourself up, or move slightly, and then push more weight down into that left heel. So pushing away from you through that left heel. Couple of breaths here, and then if you're still feeling comfortable, left fingertips start to walk forward, so you've got full stretch out through the whole of that left side body. Really big breaths all the way down the side, nourishing those muscles, opening spaces. And then next exhale, sliding the left hand back beside the face, so you've got full support. And as you inhale, lifting right arm all the way up. And then exhale, right hand comes down. So again, we're going to come down onto your right elbow, but making sure that you are comfortable. Right elbow underneath the right shoulder. And then we're going to lift that left foot. Again, we're turning those left toes out to the side. So really pushing away through that heel, turning toes out towards the side so you can feel a nice big stretch initially. Maybe walking left hand forward so we've got a bit more balance. And then left foot, excuse me, left foot in towards the right bum cheek. So left kneecap lifts nice and high. Again, really big breaths all the way through the inside of those adductor muscles around the back of the hip. And then if you want to, you can kick that foot even further, riding obstacles like my radiator, and then opening up just that little bit further. And then gently release, coming all the way back. Again, we're going to lift that left knee in towards the chest, rounding through the back, pushing through the heels of the hands, trying to find space in the back of the shoulder blades. And then bring that kneecap down. Again, just bring the hands back for a moment, gently swaying from left to right with the hips. Just release any tension through low back. And then from here, taking your hands forward slightly. So if you are pregnant, certainly in your third trimester, or you're feeling super tired, then please don't come up into plank. But if you fancy it, you're going to tuck those toes under and then come up into our plank pose. So shoulders over the wrists, give yourself a nice hug in through the center. If you're on your knees, you can still do a nice big lift in the back of the shoulders. Take that tension up through the upper body. Big breath in and out. Again, at any point you can drop the knees. You're going to bring right hand into the center, either drop the knee or roll over into feet, keep the hips high, lifting up through left arm. Shoulder stacking on top of shoulder. Exhale, left hand down, reset into plank pose or knees down. Left hand into center, rolling over onto the feet, hips high, right hand up. Big breath in and out. Shoulders into their sockets, charging up upper body, and then right hand down, knees down if they're not already, Take them a little bit wider as you sit back into child's pose. So toes together, nestle the body into the centre, elbows down, either hands underneath the head, or if the forehead touches, bringing the forehead down. So gentle breaths here into the back of the body, feeling the back of the rib cage starting to open and expand as you inhale. A softness through upper body as you exhale. Then we're trying to bring steadiness back into your breath. So really long inhale, followed by the same length exhale. And then start to stretch those hands forward. Find length to the underside of your shoulders, lifting the elbows, creeping the fingertips forward. Big breath in and out. And then very slowly come up onto all fours. Again, if you're heavily pregnant, you don't want a downward dog, that's absolutely fine. Just take a moment and stretch out here long through upper body, and we're just going to walk the feet forward. And then from here, if you want to, you can tuck the toes and lift your hips. Keep your knees bent, push through the heels of the hands, look to the toes. Again, really big breaths in and out. Finding length to your upper body, a softness to your shoulders and your chest. Next inhale, lift up high onto toes. Exhale down through the heels. And then we're going to walk flat-footed towards the top of the mat. Again, don't worry if you're heavily pregnant, just make your way to the top of the mat. Heels underneath your hips. Again, maybe a little bit wider if you're in third trimester. From here, fingertips on the shins as you inhale, lift up halfway. Chest forward, shoulders back, nice and drawn down through the tailbone, big breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees and fold. Allow the head to fall. Find a heaviness to the back of your neck. Shoulders soft. Again, really big breaths here, bending through the knees as much as possible. Just keep the upper body as close to the thighs as possible. And then from here, bring the hands behind the ankles or the calf muscles. And then from here, as you inhale, lift the underside of the tailbone and tuck the head to look between the kneecaps. Again, the knees don't need to be straight, just into a nice standing forward bend. Again, if pregnant, maybe elbows onto the knees and just let the head fall here, stretching slightly through the low spine. And then bending through those knees, allow the whole of the body to roll up through ragdoll, super slow. Super steady, super steady. Rolling shoulders up, back and down. So from here, as you inhale, we're going to sweep those arms out and up, find a lift to the chest. And as you exhale, bring those hands into prayer. A couple more of those to reset. Again, inhale, sweeping arms up. Exhale, bringing hands into prayer at heart. Again, use your breath. Inhale, really expand the rib cage. Exhale, hands into heart. Last one, inhale. And then exhale. This time, as you inhale, turn to your right. See if you can bring the arms up to 180 degrees. Exhale, hands into heart. Inhale again, turn to the right, lifting up. Exhale, hands into heart. Last time, inhale, lifting. And then hands into heart. I'm going to come onto the left side. Inhale, opening chest. A gentle twist. Exhale. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Last one, inhale, turning to left, lifting, exhale. This time, as you turn to the right, you're going to lift your right knee And as you exhale, you're going to kick that right foot back, turn to your left and bring the right ball of the foot down. So roll your shoulders up, back and down as you turn to the left side. See if you can come deeper into that lunge, not overshooting the front toes. If you need to, creep that left foot forward so that the left knee is over the left ankle. Big breath in. Big sigh out, dropping hips a little further. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, turning to face towards the front. And then as you exhale, turn towards the right and bring the right heel down. So we're opening up into warrior two. Make sure left heel is in line with your right arch. So if you need to, heel toe it across to the right. Shoulders rolling down the back of the body as you lengthen up through the spinal column here. So arms at shoulder height, reaching out through fingertips, gazing over left middle finger. As you exhale, maybe softening into that left thigh a little further. And then left arm comes onto that left knee, left shoulder moves back, and we're going to cartwheel that right arm up and over. Continuing that big circle through that rotator cuff. I'm doing a few more rotator cuffs at the moment, just because we're all sitting funny at home. We're not really at the rightful places, and so I'm making sure that everybody's shoulders are nice and open. So keep circling using your breath. Inhaling up and over, exhaling down and back. And then this is the last one. We're going to stay reaching forward. So as you inhale, lift the chest, reach the right arm forward, shoulder on top of shoulder, bottom shoulder moving back into its socket. Really big breath into that lower right side. And on your next inhale, use the right obliques, keep legs stable. Inhale, right arm comes up, back and down, onto the back of that right thigh, lifting through that left arm. And again, we're going to continue that circle. So keep the hand close to the body. Inhaling left arm up as you breathe in. Exhale it down as you breathe out. Inhaling up, checking in with that left rotator cuff. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. This time we're going to stay in reverse warrior. So inhaling up. And as you exhale, soften the hips. Reaching up through that left side. Big breaths into lower left side. We're going to stay in this warrior two stance, so a nice wide hip stance. I'm going to take the right arm forward and push it into the back foot to come up to clasp the hands into Kali Mudra. So Kali Mudra is Charlie's Angels, leaving the index fingers open and reaching up with that grip. So we're really pushing into the right foot to draw the right hip round. As you breathe, again, reaching up through those fingertips, maybe raising the gaze, not the eyebrows. If you're feeling unsteady, just look forward. So one more big breath in and out. And then you're going to bring those hands back into prayer at heart. A little hop to join that right foot with the left to the front of the mat. So a gentle sway, maybe a rotation out through the ankles. I'm going to come to face the other way again, just so you can see me better. And then from here, as you inhale, we're going to turn to face the left, lifting that left knee. As you exhale, we're going to turn to face the right and bring that left foot behind you. So we're coming into a gentle twist, arms at shoulders height, opening out through those palms, settling down a little into those thighs. If you're overshooting the front toes with that right knee, you need to creep that right foot forward. Settling down through the hips a little. And then on that inhale breath, sweeping arms up, lifting chest. Turning to face towards the left, bringing the left heel down. Again, you may need to heel toe that right foot into the center line, making sure hips are open, shoulders are soft, and arms are reaching out, front and back into warrior two. Get nice big breaths, noticing the body is nice and straight in the center line, again as those shoulders and hips settle into that stretch. Nice big lengthening out through the inside of the right thigh. And then right arm onto that right knee. Again, we're going to cartwheel that left arm up and over into our side angle stretch. And as you're moving that hand around, just notice how far out of line your body wants to come in order to get that big circle. We're trying to aim for left shoulder on top of right the whole way round. Not always possible, just checking in to see how that is. Again, right shoulder pulling back into its socket. Try not to sink into that right shoulder. And then this one we're going to open up and come into full side angle stretch. So lifting that left arm up and over to the front of the rim. Pushing into that right arm to lift the chest a little higher. Breathing deeper into lower left side. Again, if you can, keeping legs entirely stable, using left side muscles to inhale, lifting up into reverse warrior. Keep going with that top arm to come all the way back and down. Again, inhale to lift. Exhale to reach it back. Inhale, really big breath. Exhale. Again, don't worry about what your position is like. More important that you're breathing in the right way. And then next inhale, we're going to leave it here. And as you exhale, soften that right thigh. Left shoulder back into its socket. Really nice big breaths into our reverse warrior. Again, that super long breath in and out. We're going to sweep the left arm all the way forward, turning to face the front, Kali Mudra, index fingers released, and lifting those arms up, softening into that right hip, pushing through the left thigh, pushing through the left foot to come into that left thigh. Again, worry about that nice deep breath here. And then hands into prayer as you hop the left foot to meet the right. A gentle rotation through those ankles. Keeping feet nice and wide as you inhale, lift your prayer. As you exhale, bend the knees and come down through the center line. Fingertips onto the floor if you can reach, if not, just onto your shins. Inhale up halfway. So we're straightening the legs a little, shoulders wriggling back into their sockets. Again, find a tuck through your tailbone here so we can lengthen out through the lower back. And I did this on the other day, I quite like this stretch. Again, you can bend your knees a little bit if you like, but we're reaching fingertips forward, so beyond the shoulder line, and then we're going to lift those toes. So getting a nice deep stretch in the back of the legs. And then roll onto the ball of those feet. Come up onto your toes. Bend your knees. See if you can bring your legs parallel to the floor. Again, certainly if you're pregnant, you don't want to do anything else, marvellous. If you do, you can aeroplane the arms tonight. Shoulders back. Big breath in and out. Heels of the feet come down, fingertips come down. Again, we're going to straighten the legs, maybe fingertips on shins. And then exhale to bend the knees and fold. So plant your hands in. You're going to take your right foot back, drop into that right knee. Will we stay with toes tucked? No, we'll untuck the toes. So again, if you've got a prop and you've got tight hamstrings, grab it now. We're going to come back into half Hanuman. So maybe come up onto a high side of your prop to see how that feels, and then you can come down a little bit if you feel good. We're going to take those left toes up towards the ceiling. The aim is to get a straight back of the left knee, so you might need to move the left heel forward slightly. And then from here, we're going to lift your chest. So really lift the chest nice and high. As you exhale, we're pushing the chest forward. A byproduct of pushing the chest forward means we come down slightly, but it's more about that forward action. So getting a really nice big stretch and the back of that left hamstring, left toes up towards the face. Again, maybe you don't need the prop, maybe it's okay to come down, but starting off with that really nice big lift in the chest. Maybe take the left hand behind that left foot. Again, really big breaths in and out, moving forward through the heart, back through the tailbone. And if you started your running regime, I'm sure this feels kind of good, kind of evil too at the same time. I like stretches that feel like that. And then again, hands onto the prop or onto the floor. We're going to turn the toes out to the left. So little toe side of the foot is going to come onto the floor. Yes, your knee has to bend. I think it might break if it doesn't bend, so please bend it a little bit. And then from here, again, we're lifting the chest. As you exhale, bottom moves back. We're getting a different stretch on the outer edge of that left leg, pulling the left hip behind you. Again, really big breaths in and out here. Shoulders soft. Try not to let them come up into your ears. And then gently release. So bringing that left foot down, hands into the center, right foot comes onto the outer edge, just a little sway from left to right. Let the toes lift as you sway. And then we're going to take the left foot back. Again, maybe starting off with the prop, or if you were pretty okay on the last side, no worries, that's okay. We're just going to take those right toes up. Again, come up nice and high. Maybe you want to shift that right foot forward slightly, making sure the back of the right knee is straight. Inhale up through the chest. As you exhale, heart comes forward, hips come back, and those right toes really lift in towards the face. Again, if you've got the space after a couple of breaths, you can bring the flat of the right hand behind the ball of the foot and start to really draw into the leg. Breathing super long breaths here. Feeding those lovely muscles with oxygen. Opening up, lengthening out. Shoulders really soft. And then easing off slightly, a little kink in that right knee as you take the little toe side of the foot out to the side. Again, we're going to lift the chest, and as you exhale, shift the hips back and the heart forward. It's more about the hips coming back on that second one. Again, nice big breaths in and out. And then lift that right foot, ball of the foot comes down, hands onto the floor, left foot comes to meet the top of the mat, and then a gentle sway, again just lifting the balls of the feet. And then from here, which foot did we do first? So right foot comes back again. So again, your choice, maybe we use props, maybe we don't. But just getting the most out of it for your body. Everybody is different, so you don't have to be on the floor, and you don't have to be completely open through the knee and the hip. Just making it work for you as much as possible, so that you can breathe into it. That's more important than going all the way down to the floor. So again, elbow onto the floor. So right elbow is going to come down onto the floor. If that is completely impossible, then hand is absolutely fine. But if we can, maybe use a prop or a cushion to lift you up slightly so that you can bring your elbow onto the floor. We want to get a little softness into that right hip, so allowing your hips to come forward. And then you're going to turn the left toes out to the left. So left hand onto the inside of the left knee and roll that left shoulder up, back and down. Again, don't worry if yours looks a little bit like this, that's absolutely fine. You're still getting the same stretch as everybody else, just only happens to be a little bit more flexible. So that's fine too. It doesn't matter where you are, just as long as you can get those deep breaths in, letting left kneecap fall out to the side, left shoulder open. If you want to add a quad stretch and you're on the floor, you can lift your right foot and grab hold of it with your left hand. Again, some people will be saying, well, that's just impossible. And some people it is, that's okay too. So nice big breath in and out. Let those right toes go if you have them. Left hand comes down. I think we'll just take the left foot back on this side. And that right foot comes forward. Again, left elbow if possible onto the floor, but no worries if you're staying up onto the palm. But make sure your shoulder is over what is ever on the floor, elbow or palm. And then right toes turn out to the side, hips moving forward, right hand onto the inside of that right knee. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down. And really breathing into that glute muscle. Opening up through the chest. And if you did on the other side and you want to take it into a quad stretch, left toes come up, right hand around that left foot. Breathing deeply. And then releasing the leg out. Both hands come back into the center, lifting hips. Right foot comes back. That gentle sway through those hips here. And then crossing at the legs, sitting down onto the bottom. And again, we're going to come into a forward bend before a final twist and a release. Again, if you sit in your forward bends kind of like this, put a pillow underneath your bottom so that you're lifted onto the edge of your hips slightly, so you can get a little bit more forward tilt before we begin. So heels are around about hip width apart. Again, if you have a big bump in the middle of you, even further apart so you can accommodate for your bump. Hands onto your thighs. Inhale up through the center of the body. As you exhale, heart is moving forward. So again, we're trying to lift the belly over your thighs rather than getting your head onto your knees. Walking your hands down towards your feet. If they're up here and you're up here, that's absolutely fine. Just staying with a nice straight spine as you come down. If you want to, you can bring your hands around your heels, but try not to do it over the toes because that means your shoulders end up coming up. Head in line with the spine. Close your eyes down. Give yourself a really nice big breath in and out here. Seeing where the breath wants to go through the body. Nice long, slow, even flow of breath here. And then from here, reaching beyond the toes, hugging your belly as you lift all the way up. On the next exhale, big sigh. Let the upper body fall over the legs. Again, maybe that looks like this. Completely fine. Just let the head hang, the body hang, and be heavy. That gentle passive stretch to release the back body. And then rolling your way up. Heavy head, heavy shoulders. A gentle roll of the shoulders as you come all the way up. So we've done the outer edge of your legs in the last maybe cruel stretch if you didn't enjoy it. We're going to do the inside of the legs. So coming into butterfly, don't worry, you don't need to turn around just so you can see what I'm up to. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Again, if your knees are super high into your ears, just bring the feet a little bit further forward into a diamond shape so you can release any tension around the hips, and stay seated on your block if it's or cushion if it's more comfortable if you're sitting to your lower spine. And then from here, grab around the feet or the ankles and give yourself a nice big lift. Again, same as you exhale, we're coming forward through the heart with a straight spine, straight back body. And then on your inhale breath, you're going to round through your back, tuck your head, and come with a really nice long spine to our next exhale breath. Again, reaching forward through the heart. Try not to let the chin jut forward. Inhale breath to round up through your back. Exhale breath to come forward through the chest. And then inhale breath to lift up through your back. Exhale breath to come forward. Inhale breath to lift up. And just going to stay forward on this one, so exhale breath to reach the heart forward for a moment. If you're quite far forward anyway, you can bring your elbows down, or you can bring your hands down, but try not to let the upper body round, because then the stretch goes away from the inside of the legs. So still nice big reach forward through your heart. Slow, steady breaths. And then tuck your head, roll up. Again, nice and slow and steady. Knees come together. So again, if you are in your latter stages of pregnancy, just come down nice and slowly and turn onto your left-hand side. If not, then you can walk your hands down, tuck your tailbone under, maybe even let your hands come out as you come down super, super slowly. You're going to lift the arms above the head, so removing your head bubble, and then take the knees over to your right. Just look towards the left for a moment, relaxing out through that left side. And again, as you inhale, lift the head into the center, lift the knees into the center, and the knees to the left, gaze into the right. Get nice and soft through the breaths, maybe closing the eyes. And then coming back into the center with the head and the knees. Again, if you are pregnant, please do come onto your left-hand side and just maybe place a pillow between your knees and underneath your head. If you have a tight lower back, or just if you want a little bit of extra comfort in our shavasana tonight, I suggest placing pillows underneath your knees, kneecaps, and just let your knees fall open, toes falling nice and open, so you can really relax your lower body and your low spine. So either way, coming down onto the floor now, letting everything soften through your body. So just letting those arms come out beside you, or maybe even resting the hands onto the belly. Tucking your chin a little to make the back of your neck super long. Closing your eyes down. Coming into a steadier flow of breath here. Letting toes fall open. Legs heavy and relaxed. No tension around the knees. Letting those muscles of the thighs soften and relax as you walk your way through to the hips. Feeling them heavy, relaxed and grounded. Low spine, soft. No tension through back body. On the next exhale, feel a sense of heaviness to the back of the shoulder blades, the arms, the back of the head. No tension through the jaw, through the eye sockets. Coming to rest your awareness on the center of the eyebrows. Letting everything else relax into the floor. starting to extend your inhale, maybe licking the lips, maybe swallowing. Starting to wriggle fingers and toes. Still with eyes closed, circling ankles and wrists. As you inhale, stretching the arms over the head, lengthening the legs. Big heavy sigh to release. Unless you're already on your left, still with eyes closed, rolling over to the right hand side. Take a moment here, taking a breath. And then very slowly, again, still if you can with eyes closed, coming up into our comfortable cross-legged seat. Just placing the hands onto your belly tonight, drawing the chin towards the chest. Taking a moment to take those deeper restorative breaths back into that space underneath the hands. Allowing yourself this moment to acknowledge your practice, to give thanks for the openness that we've received through this practice, but also that sense of peace and calm. Taking this away with us off the mat and returning to it whenever we need it most. Bringing those hands together, rubbing them to warm them. Placing them as cups over the eyes. Fluttering eyelids open in the darkness. And bringing the hands down into prayer. Namaste everybody. Thank you very much as always for joining me on the mat this evening. I really appreciate your support and staying with me. It feels like forever since I've seen some of your lovely smiling faces, but fingers crossed soon we will have our outdoor class. Yeah, as always, if you liked it, please do give me a little thumbs up or a comment if you have time below. That is really appreciated. And as always, this is a pay what you can class, so if you can afford any small donation, the link is below. And please do share with your friends. As always, it's a YouTube video following its live stream, so it's available for everybody to practice. And hopefully I will see you on Wednesday evening for our dynamic session, and have a good rest of your evening. Namaste.